This video will show you how to make a GIF in GIMP. So find GIMP on your computer. It stands for GNU Image Manipulation Program. We're using GIMP 2.8, and it should work with other versions, but you might have to double check in case you have an older or much newer version. When you open it, you should have the Toolbox and Layers boxes. So go to Windows, you can see Toolbox right there, and then in Dockable Dialogues at the top should be the Layers option. But if it opens with all of these windows you see here, then you're good to go. So to begin, you should have your pictures already ready, but we're going to go to File, Open as Layers, and then find your files. You can see all mine here, but just in case yours don't come up or you haven't used them before in the program, just find them on your computer in whatever folder you have them. They should be numbered chronologically from first frame to last. Select them all, Shift Select, whatever works for you. And then once you hit Open, it's going to start opening each image as a separate layer, one on top of the other. Bottom layer will be your first frame, top layer will be your last frame of the animation. You can hit shift click on those eyeballs and then you'll see your first frame, and then you can actually one by one go up. Notice this seems like reverse order, but this is how GIMP will process your animation, so make sure it's ascending like this, or descending, I guess. Or no, ascending, that's correct. That's the correct way to say it. And so then you have all your images open. You can see all of them. Go up to Filters and Animation. In Animation, there's a couple animation options. First, we'll show you Playback. This will help you preview your GIF. Once you hit Playback, the new window, you can resize it to whatever, and then hit Play, and it should show you your GIF, exactly the speed and images it will look like. You can step forward, rewind, whatever, but close that. And basically you're ready to make your GIF, but I'll show you a couple other things to go along with this before and after we make it. So let's say you need to resize it or edit out some parts. Maybe you took pictures, you didn't draw pictures but took pictures, you need to edit out some edges. Use the Select tool, go to Image, Crop to Selection. And this will crop out anything else on every single layer. So you can see here, it's a little bit smaller now just for your workaround. If you go to View, Zoom, and then Fit Image in Window, it'll make it bigger again just in case it got smaller or whatever you happen to do. So go back to File, and now we're going to not save, but export as. And export means you're going to go from GIMP to then actually making a GIF file. So go down to Select File Type, and you want to give your GIF a name at the top first. Hit GIF, and then hit Export. And when we export, it's working, it's taking it out of the program and making a nice GIF image. So there's one last dialogue. You don't need a GIF comment, just make sure as animation, loop forever, and the timing is what you want. Leave everything else alone and unchecked. So we hit export, and so while it processes, just keep in mind all of your images should already be on the computer and numbered in the correct animation number order. So once we've exported it, try to find it in your folder, wherever you happen to save it, whatever you happen to name it. And sometimes GIFs don't necessarily render in like an image viewer. It might just show you the first frame and not the actual moving animation. So I find my GIF there. It should have the first frame as the picture, the logo for it. And we're going to open it with a browser. And in the browser, most browsers, they're going to play it. And we can see here, all right, it worked. It is animated and looks just the way I wanted it to. So once we close our browser window, we're going to go back over a couple little details. So let's say you like this, it's great, but you want to maybe edit it later. Go to File, Save As, and save it as whatever name you want to. This will save your working file. If you go to Filters, go to Animation, maybe you want to optimize for GIF down in the animation. This will help it resize it or just make it a little smoother. Sometimes it doesn't, so just go back there and unoptimize if it messes it up. So these are just the basics of how to make a GIF. Very quick, very simple. There's lots of other things you can do, lots of ways to edit it. But just go ahead and try it out and see if you can't make your own moving frame-by-frame animation.